We are back from a long hiatus. We got our new shop built out and we're incredibly excited about this brand new project that we're working on. It's called Meet Your Maker. You get to come out and meet your favorite maker. We've got some big names in the mix. We have Fluoride Woodworking.
No, Four Eyes Furniture.
We have Fluoride Furniture.
4 Eyes.
You sure? We also have Bourbon Mouth.
Bourbon Moth.
Okay.
It's not Bourbon Mouth, it's Bourbon Moth.
My apologies. Okay, so we also have Bourbon Moth coming out. Really excited about him as well. It's gonna be an incredible weekend event. It's gonna be a Saturday and a Sunday. One of those days you're gonna get to come to my shop or their shop and meet them. There's gonna be lots of stuff going on like demolition and
demonstrations.
No, there's not going to be any demolition going on. And then I'm also going to have an exclusive interview with them, which is going to be really fun for me. First up, Jonathan Katz-Douglas.
No. It's Jonathan Katz-Moses. You're William Douglas. He's Katz-Moses.
First up is Katz-Moses. Let's go. Hey, what's up, brother?
Yo, buddy, I just got my bag. I'm walking out of door 9.
He's the only OG YouTuber that reached out to me when I got started and was like, hey man, I like what you're doing. Let me come out and support you guys. So he's flying in from California for our opening, which is really rad.
One of my jokes when I talk is gonna be like, well, you know, William invites me to a new grand opening every 3 weeks.
Seriously, we're gonna do the shop tour video again. It's like, this is my 3rd shop tour this year. Jesus.
What like a progression though from the shed, right? Yeah, what about that? Yeah. Did you build all this?
Yeah, you built everything in there.
Gorgeous, man.
Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on blingin', she icy. Freeze, photo, please, no photos. No, G's, no, please, no photos. Hit the door and the dome just whole team.
Man, well, it is gorgeous here. When I came out here, I didn't know what to expect, and walking into what looks like the nicest coffee shop I've ever seen, that is also a wood shop. It's just simply incredible what you've done here. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. When I asked you to come out for our opening, that was kind of a long shot for me. I was like, you know, it was kind of a whim thing. I was like, I'm gonna see if Jonathan wants to come out. I know he's kind of close. You're in California, I'm in Phoenix, we'll see. And like in 30 minutes, you had booked a flight. So like that to me speaks to your dedication to the woodworking community. And I'm sure I'm not the only person you're like that with, but truly means a lot. It says a lot about you and really your dedication to the craft and everything. And I just wanted to really thank you for that.
Of course, man. I believe so firmly in supporting this community and making woodworking accessible to all that I love to do everything I can to help grow the craft. I think that when the craft grows, everybody wins, right? People create great stuff and great designs. Somebody could come up with something totally new who may not have been into woodworking had they not maybe attended a class at your school on a whim, or maybe got to hear me speak at an event, like somebody who was thinking about getting into woodworking and then got the opportunity to see what it was all about and see what was possible. And I think that's what supporting the community does and how it helps the community grow.
So what got you into woodworking?
I had left a construction company that I owned and instantly knew I was bored. I mean, you know me, I'm a man who needs action. And so one of my roommates was trying to build a planter bench for his girlfriend, and I helped him do it, and he was, we'd been working on it all day, and he's like, I gotta go to work. He was a cab driver at the time. And I said, oh, can I work on it while you're at work? And I went to Home Depot and bought a miter saw and a couple other tools, and I just fell in love with woodworking, but I didn't know what woodworking was about. I thought it was you chop up 2x4s into, things that you find on Pinterest. But then a friend of mine named Matt invited me to his shop. And having been a woodworker for a few years now, I know how special that was, because I know how sort of people treat beginners sometimes and their shop space is sacred. So for him to just let me come in and hang out every day, I mean, I had just left a job, so I didn't have a job at the time. He would let me come hang out every day and sweep up sawdust and check it out, and I got the opportunity to see what was possible, and I saw somebody who made boxes, these beautiful intricate inlaid boxes, and I just said, oh, that's what I want to do. Yeah. And it was incredible. And so, supporting the community and supporting people is what really led me down this path.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So everybody has a getting into woodworking story. What's yours?
I bought my first house, and I was really intense about trying to create this sacred place for my family. So I was very intentional about everything that I brought into the home and everything I put in there. Unfortunately, I was an electrician, kind of apprenticing, and I didn't make a lot of money, so I couldn't afford anything that I wanted. As an electrician, we were the first ones in, last ones out, so I got to watch a lot of the other trades come through, and I'd just be sitting up on my ladder watching how they did things, and just from that, I kind of gained some confidence, and like everything kind of seems achievable. So I decided to try to make some of my own furniture. The first thing that I tackled was a pendant light that I put in the front of my house on the patio. I just went and got a Ryobi router and a 2x4 and an LED strip. I routed out the center, I cut some acrylic, and I inlaid a strip and put it up on my patio. It was like, I was so proud of that stupid little light. It looked amazing to me. It was so like it might not have been good quality, it might not have been a very expensive piece, but everything was just right. Like the proportions were just right. Everything looked good, and I knew that I made it, so it had a lot of meaning to me. Like a week later, someone stole it right off of my patio. Somebody came and snipped it and took it. So at first I was kind of heartbroken, like somebody stole my light. But then that is kind of what pushed me into this, like people like what I'm doing. Somebody just came and stole my light from my front patio. So I started to get more, like I leaned in a little bit, and people started asking me to make things for them. I got a shop while I was still working full time as an electrician, and that kind of gave me the freedom to just play with the things that I was interested in. So I started sketching up some chairs, I sketched up some desks, and then I would just, after work, come and just have fun. And I didn't dive in too early, and I think that's the most important thing, was I got to really, really enjoy it and like fall in love with woodworking before I fully like turned that into kind of a career for me. That's how I ended up in the woodworking realm.
That's awesome. So in a way, that burglar was your first supporter. That guy nurtured your woodworking because he told you, hey, this project looks great. I think about those days and how exciting every step was, and how figuring out something new was like a constant theme of the day. Is like every step was new, and you learned and you screwed up over and over. And I think that sort of ties into why you support the community, is that you get this really rare, special time in the beginning of your journey where you're acquiring tools and everything is new to you. And so everything gives you that thrill and that, that feeling of accomplishment, even if it's something that we take for granted now as a simple, a glue up. Yeah. It's like glue ups we now do in our sleep and throw some clamps on it. But back then it was like, damn, everyone on YouTube says that's stressful, and I did it, and it didn't fall apart, and I got all my squeeze out, and it feels great. And that's why supporting people is so important. What would be the piece of advice you'd give to somebody beginning their woodworking journey?
If you're new to woodworking and you're just getting into it, I think the most important thing is that you give yourself enough time to actually develop and find who you are as a woodworker in your craft, especially in the design aspect of that, because I developed my chair, and that's what I'm most known for, is the Cody 3 chair, right?
Beautiful, by the way.
I designed that over the course of 2 years. If I would have taken the time before I left my job to develop more products like that, I would be in a lot better position now, because now that I've taken this on and it is my career, and I have to pay bills, I have to make the ends meet, people need to get paid. I don't really have the time that I put into that and developing that. So creating something as amazing as that chair came out is a lot more further of a reach for me at this point, because I jumped in a little bit too soon. So I would just say, find who you are. Find who you are and do that while you have a job, while you have some security, right? And really explore that, and don't jump in too early. Like, don't start making things just because people approach you and say, hey, I found this on Pinterest, can you please make this for me? Like, just take your time and make what you want to make. When you do make that transition, you're going to be in a much better place.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, and I certainly would like to sort of mirror what you said about like finding your style, because my sense of style over the years has certainly changed and been refined, and I've gone through levels where I thought I liked something and later I would do it totally different. But also the part about working for friends and family is it's really important to maintain those boundaries, because in the beginning, as soon as you post on your Facebook group to all your friends you've had for years, they're going to ask you to make stuff. And you need to ensure that you don't lose money on that, because I think it's a very common mistake in the beginning that people just say, oh yeah, I'll do that for like $100, and they don't realize that the wood's going to cost $130, and then you sandpaper and blades and all these things. So I always say to people, make sure that you tell them woodworking's not inexpensive, but if you agree to pay for all the materials with receipts plus 10%, I'd love to do this for you. And that's a great way to refine your skills for free.
I like that.
Yeah, you're not investing anything, and you're going to make 10% to cover stuff that you couldn't include in the bill. And then if you get to that point and they balk at that, then they're not really your friend or family, right? If they want you to lose money to make them something, it's not somebody that you want to work with anyways. I think for me, when I talk to people about their beginning of their journey, my advice is a little bit more rudimentary than yours. Yours is it's just so helpful. Mine is sharp tools matter.
Sure.
Like, people in the beginning, they cheap out on the consumables, but then they'll find a great tool on Craigslist and be willing to spend a little bit more for, a used jointer, or a used table saw. But then they cheap out on blades and they go get the real cheap ones from Home Depot, or they get cheap chisels and they don't learn how to sharpen them. They don't get good stones. Right. And I think when I realized that, it changed my woodworking. My woodworking went from mediocre with tear out all over the place to like really fine, clean, crisp lines and tight glue lines, because you're able to finally start taking shavings and cut real dovetails with nice, sharp 90-degree corners, and it's just makes a huge difference, sharp tools. So I always recommend people, restore a hand plane, figure out how to get it sharp, and just keep practicing until you can slice through a piece of paper with it, and that's when you can go use it. And if you don't get on the first try, that's okay. You can refine that and keep working on that, because it makes a big difference. Back to the subject at hand here, William. What's your plans? This place came out gorgeous. What are you going to do with it?
The primary focus of what we're doing here is to teach classes, and the reason why it was so important for us to get into a storefront in such an amazing area is I wanted to attract people in for the amazing coffee that we have here in the front, and then when they come in, I want it to be a real point of discovery, like, what the hell did I just walk into? What is this place? And then, we got the floor-to-ceiling glass where you can see the Roubo workbench, the heirloom quality hand tools, and these people can be like, whatever this is, I want to be a part of it. And well, we have a class for you to sign up for. And it's going to be anything ranging from a 1-day class, 2-day class. There'll be some sharpening classes. Then there's going to be like full-on 1-week classes. We'll be selling templates, plans. We already sell a little bit, but we're going to be ramping that up a lot more now. Awesome. So we're really excited about that, and we'll see where this goes, where this takes us.
That's awesome. I think one thing I'm super excited is to see you back on YouTube. It's been you've spent a few months building out the shop, and of course you can't make any content without tools. So it's going to be really exciting to have you back making videos, because I love your videos. I really do. You shoot great stuff, and it's really compelling. And your skill level is there as a woodworker with the best. So it's going to be great to see what you create. It really is. I'm excited.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course. That's a really cool story. All right, so here's 2 cut jokes for you, whoever's editing this. That's funny. People are usually shocked when they see my electrical work.
This guy.
People, that's great. People are usually shocked when they find out how bad of an electrician I am.
I have Eric, but I have a lot of people that have been really donating a lot of time, interns and even some family members that have just been like really helping us bring this dream to life, and I couldn't have done it without them. And I'm just really excited to share that and invite the community in and just connect with them, like over a cup of coffee or, over a hand plane, whatever it may be. Really excited to have people in and just to be able to connect with other woodworkers and other people interested in building, designing, and making things.